Hello, everyone, and welcome to our very first Sherwood Players live podcast. We're calling this the Sherwood Shakeup, episode 1. I'm Matt Weinglass, and I'm very happy to have you guys here with us. If you're not watching live, hopefully you're able to find us after the fact and dive in and do this thing. We're trying to engage with our community and push ahead in this post-COVID crazy time that we find ourselves in, but we as artists have to be the front runners, the spearheaders as we maneuver through these uncharted territories, and we have to do it with courage and with conviction. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to welcome into the live podcast our social media manager director, Barbara Wilder. Welcome, Barbara.
Hello.
How is everything in your neck of the woods?
Good. We're doing good. I think everything is opening up at the moment, and 2021.
2021. We're opened, but we found a new way to communicate on top of it. So here we are. I mean, I don't think people weren't really doing this type of thing a year and a half ago as much. Now everybody's kind of a little more engaged, figuring out ways to use technology in a good way, I suppose. Yeah.
I guess it's a good and a bad thing, right? Like I miss a little bit like the personal experience, but then on the other side, it opens up a window that you have time for other things. It's obviously like easier to just like meet people online and schedule that. So I guess this is what they always say, like our new normal, isn't it?
It's our new normal. But one thing I'm actually excited about is we're utilizing new normal to engage into mediums and into in environments that we're actually used to, that we haven't had for a while. So those face-to-face interactive environments that we as Sherwood, we especially have been missing this last year or so. And I'm just excited that we're able to get some stuff back onto the calendar and get moving and get people engaged with each other again, and that physical face-to-face contact that we're really excited about.
Yeah, and we had a few in-person events, the stage reading, and I think we have a few planned for the future, like very, very near future. We will have a get-together planned, I think, when is it, in August?
Oh yeah, no, we have a ton of stuff planned for August, but this is what's really exciting is that we have a new theater space, and we were actually the funniest timing, and I don't know, but my God, like literally brought down. We're getting to this awesome, it's called the Complex Holly. I was literally in there in February of 2020. Up in the office, all the women working there, and we were just vibing and talking about all the plans for 2020. Remember that? Do you remember that 2020 was this new reset? We're going to be this big like time for change, a new decade. Sitting there talking about all the stuff we were going to be doing there, and then I think it was less than 2 weeks later, the emails were going out, canceled.
Yeah.
It was like
I can very much remember New Year's 2020, where everybody was like so excited, like, oh my God, it's like 2020, and then oopsie doopsie, let's not do anything.
I know, and it's like it sucks. It's been bad for everyone. Everybody has a boohoo story about it, but I don't know. I've been thinking a lot this last year or so, and I talked about this in our social in our groups, our Facebook group. And if you guys aren't in our Facebook private group, it's very important that you join, because we have very personal conversations with people in there. We have about 350 members in there, and we like to keep we don't want it to get up too high, because we want to be able to talk to people that are serious artists. We're not trying to promote and publicly display everything. We have other ways to do that. And Barbara, you've been great at keeping up in our social and on the normal platforms that you would have, Twitter and the the other stuff, Instagram. but this particular group, it's called Sherwood Players Production Group. And if you guys ask to join, it's private. You ask to join, and you could say where you saw us, and if it's on YouTube, we'll know that you were watching us, and we can definitely get you involved, because it's a place that we can try stuff out, and we don't have to be afraid of what people are going to think about it. If stuff's in development or in some sort of development stage, go ahead and share it. Like we share updates before we even know. Like we kind of test the waters. What do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about that? And feedback becomes important. And if things become these artistic endeavors that we're undertaking, they become these kind of group endeavors. And so we're not just out there solo, you know, as screenwriters, as actors, trying to pursue our solo career. Because I mean that gets lonely and it gets frustrating. And I know for a fact that all the people we've been talking to and engaging with, we've tried to engage with over this last year, you can feel that frustration. People by themselves that are just like, oh my God, I have an audition, I have to tape it, I got to put it on, I got to upload my audition from my living room. It's like, man, screenwriters sitting around writing, hoping that maybe if I send it to someone, they can read it and give me some critique. But it's like, no, we have to do better than that as artists. We have to engage. We have to figure out ways to do that. And now we have not just the technology that's allowing us to do this. We can actually get back together and schedule live events and literally get together physically and converse and you know, grow our relationships that have been kind of struggling. I feel like people's, you know, we need to you know, be delicate about these relationships that people we haven't talked to for. You know, let's have one-on-ones. Let's have heart-to-hearts. Let's see where each other are at and where we can help each other improve and grow. There is power in numbers. That's what we say.
Yeah, I mean, a few things. I think the beauty of a group on Facebook is that it's not like wild online Facebook, right? Like people still know that they're part of a group. They're like maybe discussing things a little bit more respectfully. It's a more safe place than just being on Facebook. A lot of people, I think we all pretty much know each other in real life. So that makes it like a different environment. And even people who just get to know us from YouTube and they are in the group, it still has a different feeling. I don't know. Every time when I'm in a Facebook group, it is like a more intimate environment where, you know, you just feel safer, but also I think people are more respectful towards each other.
For sure.
And I think that's like the next point I want to make is I think because a lot of people didn't really socialize in 2020 and were just like present online, I think we lost a little bit the respect for other people, right? Like when you're online, you're talking with people like they would be your closest friends, but they're strangers. Like
Yeah.
that is nothing you would ever say to somebody face to face, what people sometimes say to each other online, because there is no border anymore, right? Like you don't see how the other person react. Like the respect gets lost. Yeah.
For sure. No, but we have to try and change that and set a good example and start getting personal again. I think that's our obligation.
Yeah. There's another question. Do you think that live auditions will ever come back?
You know what? I actually had one last week. It was for a commercial. Yeah, it was. I went in there. It was our favorite spot we all used to go to. They're back open. It's that 200 South La Brea casting office. Where they have
Really? Oh wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But it was different. It was different. I walked in and everybody had masks on, and like, you know, they came out and they did an announcement and they said, hey, you guys, you know, if you come in, you know, if you need to keep your mask on, that's fine, but we actually recommend that you take them off if you're comfortable. And it was very odd because very few people listened to that and they just stayed there with their masks on. Not to get into all that, but I do think I did sense there was something in the air that, you know, people were afraid. They were afraid.
Yeah, I think people are afraid of not not doing anything which is like, which maybe is not socially accepted. And you can see, like, even to a point where people are like, hey, I mean, like, you can take your masks off if you're vaccinated or whatever. And people are still like, I don't know, I don't want to like look like a jackass. Like, and I think, I mean, obviously as an actor, you're even more careful, right? Because that it's, like, they like you or not. So it is also, it's a personal thing. It's not just like your resume. It's like, it's a personal connection you have to have with the casting director. Like, they make you or break you. So you better fall on their good side.
Well, again, I think that we have to find a way to dig in deep and find courage right now. And it's harder to do than just say, because we can all say, oh, I'm brave. We're artists, we're actors, we're brave. We go out to auditions all the time and we deal with rejection. We got to have some tough skin for that. And so we've been doing it for years, way before the pandemic. But what am I talking about when I say we have to find this new kind of courage that goes beyond having tough skin for facing rejection? I think it's a courage we got to find in ourselves to just not be afraid of how people are going to respond, but just also not be afraid to live and to breathe the air and to get out there and say, I have something to say. I'm an artist. I have something to say. And I'm not, I'm going to say it. I'm going to figure out a way to do it. I'm not going to hide behind, a mask or sit and wait my turn. I think we've never behaved that way in the past. So why start now? As far as like waiting for the phone to ring, waiting for my time will come. I just got to wait patiently. No, we have to go out. We literally go outside and assert ourselves. And
I think it's like, it's like the boat, right? The boat is rocking in different directions. I mean, there was a time where everybody said whatever they wanted to, and really from coming not always from a very good place, and it was totally okay. And as more mean certain people were, that was basically like their brand, being just bullies and being mean. And then, now we have like the opposite, where, you have to be very, very careful. Even if you're coming from a very good place, you have to think 3 times, like, before you say something, to like, do you say it in the right way? Do you're not offending somebody? Which, okay, it comes from a good intention. I think we just have to find a balance again. I think as long as you're coming from a good place and you're coming from a place where you're like, I want to contribute to a better society. I want to do good in this world. As long as you do that, it should be okay what you're doing. It should be accepted by other people, as long as you're like, not coming from a bad place. Because normally when people come from a good place, they are not bullies, and they maybe say something which offends one or the other, but that is also okay, because we can respectfully disagree.
For sure. Okay, let's switch gears and let's talk about what we have coming up in the Sherwood community.
Yes.
This is some exciting stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. Like, what do we have coming up? Like, it's July now. August will be full of Sherwood Players events.
Yes, starting right away. We're starting literally at August 1st. We will be opening our very first Sherwood Players International Film Festival, where we'll be open submissions around the world for short films of any genre. And people can find us on Film Freeway. You can go there now. But August 1st, submissions will be open. We'll be taking, again, submissions from all genres, short film. They're all short film options. So short documentaries, animation, comedy, drama, music videos. So anything you have that's under 30 minutes, I believe, is our cutoff. And
okay.
Yeah.
So under 30 minutes, every genre under 30 minutes. That's what.
Yeah. And
cool.
And what we're going to be doing is, leading up to December, end of the year, we'll be announcing the finalists beginning of December, or I believe, right at the beginning of December, we'll be announcing the finalists. And then mid-December, we're going to be putting up a live in-person film festival in Hollywood. And we're going to feature the finalists, and we're going to announce the awards. There'll be an award show and a screening. And people will be invited that are the filmmakers, the actors, the directors, producers will be invited to our in-person event. So this thing is we're really excited. We're in the planning stages for the events in December, but we're ready and eager to take the submissions starting August 1st.
Do we already know where the event will take place in December?
That location is under wraps, but will be announced when we get closer. But
and that's why everybody should follow our social network channels, Twitter. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and
Instagram.
Instagram, exactly.
Yeah. We are all at Sherwood Players, so you can find us at Sherwood Players at all the social media platforms.
Very nice.
Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we have a new Spectrum workshop in the works. We've ran a few of them online on Zoom when we had no other option over the last year, but we're excited to get back in the theater at our new location at the Complex Hollywood mid-August. We'll be having one event workshop that'll feature a special guest industry guest that will be announced shortly. So definitely get on our social, and we'll be announcing that soon. And yeah, it's going to be really cool. And these production workshops, we've been doing them for a while. I think we have 20 of them now, Barbara. And these ones, they've all we gear them not just to actors. This is to all types of artists.
I just wanted to say, like, for everybody who doesn't know Sherwood Players, maybe we should explain what is Spectrum. What does Spectrum stand for? Spectrum
is an acronym that we came up with a while back. It was kind of a goofy acronym because it's so long, and it's just kind of fun that it actually spells out something kind of cool. So Spectrum actually stands for Sherwood Players Evening of Cinema and Theater, Redefining the Underground Movement.
Nice.
But that's what it is, Spectrum. And these workshops, they're about 2 to 3 hours. We do them. We used to be doing them once a month. We're going to try to get back to that, but at least 3 or 4 a year. And what we do is we target all types of artists because we all have something in common. Whether you're a writer, director, producer, actor, or any other type of artist, what we all have in common is that we all have a brand that we whether we know it or not, we have a brand that we put out there, and we're all in the business of sales. Again, whether you like it or not, or know it or not, we're all in sales, and we're selling ourselves, and we have to know what we're putting out there, and what it looks like, and how it's going to be perceived. And so, to understand your branding and what you present, you're going to be much better off as an artist as you navigate and maneuver your career and try to work your way up in this crazy Hollywood game. Yeah.
Even if you're just if you're an actor, or if you a screenwriter or a director, whatever position you have in the entertainment industry, I think it is so important to also learn about other areas of the entertainment industry, like to get a real idea. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the next thing, which I'm excited to put on the calendar. This is going to be a little later because we're talking about September, but we're going to start up the Sherwood Players Directors Course again. This was a very popular one a few years back, and we've had a few very successful classes. And in this Directors Course, it's an 8-week class weekly. And we target anyone who is a first-time director, a seasoned director that wants to get a little more training, but in the regards that we really focus on the relationship of the director and the actors and the script. So we put all the camera equipment aside, all of the tech stuff, all the cinematography and editing. We're talking about that trifecta, that relationship between the actor and the director and the script. It's the essence and the foundation of any type of directing project, whether it be in theater, film, or anything you can imagine. That is the basis of the class. And what we do is we'll take, whether first time or seasoned, you might be an actor that wants to try directing for the first time, or a writer that wants to try directing for the first time. We have only 6 spots, so we go through a review process to get those 6 directors. We also let actors in. If you want to try directing, but you're not exactly ready for it yet, but you want to maybe be a fly on the wall, the actors get to be in the class too and get to get the entire training and then perform in the scenes that the directors are going to be staging and rehearsing throughout the class. Everything leads up to the end of the class, which is the 9th week, which will put up the showcase, live showcase, which will feature the best work of the class, and the directors get to, showcase their work. Oh, one other thing. After the showcase, well, during the showcase, we will announce an audience award. So the audience will vote on the best original scene. That scene will be chosen as the Sherwood Players production, and we will co-produce with the director a film that will, from completion, from beginning to end. And the past films that have been chosen, 3 of them that we have produced were the best scenes from those previous classes. They're up right now on our YouTube page. Or actually, if you guys want to go check those out, one of them is called When a Woman Loves a Woman. One of them is called The Proposal. And the most recent one is called Apples to Affleck. And all 3 films are award-winning films. They've hit the film festival circuit, and they've gathered up awards, and they were all first-time directing students, first-time directors that were able to obtain those accolades and push their careers forward as a result.
So as somebody who is teaching the director's course, like, what is your main focus when teaching first-time directors?
My main focus for teaching first-time directors, I think, is to put all that stuff aside. Because I'll tell you something, I get a lot, before we ever start a class, I'll have conversations with the students. Like I said, we go through an interview process. So I like to get to personally know each student before we even start. And one thing that is very common that I hear from first-time directors is, I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to do this, or I'm worried I'm not going to be able to understand that, or what if my actors think I don't really know what I'm doing, or what if this, what if that, a lot of fear. And the one thing I like to just really focus on and really just zero in on is figuring out why. That is the main question, is why. If you can answer that question, why am I directing this material? If you find that why, and it's something that means something to you, all these other things will work out. They will, because you have a purpose. And guess what? Your actors and your crew are going to feel that. They're going to sense that. They're gonna be inspired by it. They're gonna get, oh shit, I'm part of something where the director cares about what we're doing, has a vision. That's the word I'm looking. So the why will lead to the vision. Once you have a vision, guess what? You don't have to. You'll figure it out as a group. You'll figure it out as a team. The actors will contribute. They will give you feedback, and you can be like, hey, I don't know the answer to this question, but what do you think? Or let's figure this out. Let's evolve this vision. And lo and behold, like I've seen 1,000 times, the visions will continue to grow, and they'll become something that nobody even thought was possible when they started. And those are the best stories that are told. Those are the best ones. They really are. That you had no idea what was coming until you got there.
Right. And so obviously, like in the director's course, first-time directors learn a lot how to work with actors, but do you also address like how to work with your crew? Like, I mean, first of all, like the most important person next to you as a director is the DP. How to, like, work together with your DP, like so basically on one page.
Yeah. So that's a great question. Now, the class, unfortunately, the class isn't long enough to go through that for everyone. But like I said, there will be a director in the class that will win the audience award, and we will produce their film. And during that process, just to be clear, we just say, go. Here's a check. Go produce your film. We go through that process. We go through what that relationship would be with their cinematographer, and we help guide through that relationship. It's just, I just got to be clear that relationship with your cinematographer doesn't matter up front. That doesn't really matter at all. What matters is that you have that why, you have that vision, and you start creating something. That cinematographer, believe me, they will they will get on board. If they're like, oh, this looks like a cool project, I want to be part of this, and they'll be open and they'll be able to listen, and then of course they'll be able to contribute their talents, and what they're really good at is framing and lighting and getting you that feeling that you want. Now, I've seen a lot of times where great cinematographers, their talents are wasted because they go into a situation where a director doesn't have any idea what they want, and then cinematographer's like, well, I guess I'll just guess something because I'm not getting anything from you. So anyway.
That requires also like at least a little bit of technical knowledge, so you can like actually tell the DP like which kind of like shots you want to have, like, and you can maybe talk a little bit about camera lenses. You maybe want to create a storyboard for your DP to know where we have like somebody on our chat. So you would recommend a director to present the DP a storyboard. Has a little bit of technical knowledge, so we can talk about lenses and we can talk about which frame we want to use, right? Correct?
Absolutely. And that, again, that process, you're hiring a cinematographer because they understand those. They understand lenses. They understand what they want on a storyboard. This is actually, this answers a lot of questions, because what happens is that we have all of these fields that need to be filled with someone, like a costume designer, a lighting guy. You got to have props. You got to have. I mean, the list is a mile long. And as a director, again, you don't have to feel overwhelmed that you have to be an expert at all these things. You're going to get the right person on each one of these jobs, and they're going to bring their expertise to help you with that. The only thing you have to be an expert on is the actors. Why? Because there is no, out of all the jobs on a film set, there's one job you'll never see listed at the end of a credit of a Marvel movie. You'll never see anything that says this, acting specialist. You'll never see acting specialist. You'll see choreographer for dance. You'll see personal assistants for different celebrities, because there's a lot of stunt choreographers. There's a ton of specialties. One thing you'll never see is acting specialist. That's the director's job. That's the director's job. I'm sorry. Right. So again, it comes back to that trifecta: the actor, the director, and the script. If you can't figure that out, then all these other things are just, they're just not going to, no one's going to be cohesively together. So
when can people sign up for the director's course? I think it's open right now, right? We can to submit, and yeah.
Yes, right now you can actually submit. At this point, if you are ready to go right now, send us a message on our Facebook or on our website. You can write there's literally a place on our website, sherwoodplayers.com. You can write a message. It'll go right to me, and we can start the interview process. But we will officially be announcing. We have a little bit of time before the class starts, but you can our viewership right now and start a conversation. Let's have a dialogue right now. Cool. So this has been interesting so far. During our live stream, I know we've been hearing a lot of beeping. I've been getting several messages from people, and I haven't figured out how to mute it on the computer. I muted it on my phone, and then it was still beeping on the computer. So I have to figure that out for next time. But these are all messages related to what we're doing. I guess people are getting really excited, and they're reaching out. Anyone who wants to keep texting me, please don't text right now. Just
go on our live chat. Yeah,
please go and do a live chat. I know it's, everyone's gonna see it, but that's what we're here. We're here to be courageous right now. We don't want to.
We also answer questions.
Yeah, we're here to answer questions. And yeah, so go ahead and throw your questions up there. Please don't text me anymore. Just put the question up on the screen. Thank you. But this has been fun so far. Barbara, I appreciate you setting this up for us, because I was, I had a little nervousness going into this. Obviously there's improvements. We're going to be taking a lot of suggestions, and we're going to be improving this by the time we get to episode 2 next week. we're going to be doing this once a week, right? We're going to be doing what, Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm excited. So between now and then, we'll definitely be making the improvements. Suggestions have already been coming in. And we are ready for the next one next week. So in the meantime,
what are a few suggestions which came in?
What few suggestions? Oh, let's see.
And who sent it?
We have a suggestion about Restream. They were asking how we can get Restream. It says Restream. Okay. Well, that's what we're using. I don't know. I mean, to be totally honest, everybody, we just started on Restream, so any option of like changing the font or putting our own logo up, I guess that's what they're getting at. They want to know if we are able to make those professional accommodations. Yes, Restream will allow us to do all these things to make it look sharper and cooler and more personal to our brand. We just have to pay the upgrade fee. That's the only catch. So we haven't done that yet. So sorry, guys. It still says Restream in the upper right corner, but we will have a Sherwood logo on here soon. That's the plan for next time.
Sure.
So, and there's a few other ones. We'll have to hire an assistant. I can't deal with. But we have a really nice comment from Leslie. She says, "Video looks great, guys. Great quality and presentation. Looking forward to the many awesome events and projects." How sweet. Thank you, Leslie. So awesome. Did you see that one, Barbara?
Yes, I see it. Yes.
Cool.
I mean, I as far as I'm concerned, I cannot write something, but but I see the chat.
At the bottom, yeah?
Right no, there. Maybe as a guest, you cannot do that. But that's all right.
We'll figure it out. Okay. Well, let's see. What else? So we covered a few things. We have a lot of other cool stuff to talk about. We have on our future episodes, we're going to get into a lot of other stuff. Like I'm actually excited to talk to you, Barbara, next week about our the desert adventures of Sherwood during the lockdown. That will be a fun discussion. We can get into that next week. I want to hear about that.
Yeah. Maybe next week or then the week after. It depends. We have some kind of audience to. Yeah, let's see what happens. Two
other things I forgot. So the other projects in our pipeline, we have Crash the animated series, which we have a new company that wants to sell this on different platforms for us. This is a credible opportunity. So we just signed an agreement with them. They're going to be streaming us on several other platforms. Crash is a really cool cartoon we produced as a community a few years ago. We've kept it private. We have not put it anywhere on any platform, but it's about a superhero who stops kids from distracted driving. It's a fun little 15-episode series with a lot of cool characters. Crash is just like any superhero in Marvel and DC. We're actually kind of making fun of all the franchises because Crash is actually a franchise in and of himself. He's got a sidekick named Bluetooth. He's got a love interest. He's got a ton of cool super villains that are out to stop him. So it's all the fun stuff. And of course, he's a celebrity too, so he has to deal with all the paparazzi and people coming after him. So it's all, we make fun of the whole Marvel stuff, but we're having fun with a very serious topic, and I think that's what the interest is in Crash. And we're really, really excited to get Crash out there finally to the public with this new company, and they're called Hudson Sterling, and they're going to be putting us up on some streaming platforms very soon. So more on that later, and we'll be able to show you guys where you can watch Crash.
I just had like a few pop-ups on my screen. I'm like, what was that? Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, very cool. And then of course we have our next audiobook project. I know a lot of you guys know about our first audiobook with a big production we did a few years ago called The Barefoot Spirit. It's a story of the making of Barefoot Wine. We worked directly with Barefoot Wine creators, Michael Houlihan and Bonnie Harvey, and we worked with them for a year to develop their story into an audiobook, which features 20 different actors, including the great Ed Asner, who voices one of the characters, We did a whole entire music composition, and we added sound effects, and 20 actors are literally voicing up, I think it was about 100 characters. And so that came out right before the pandemic, and it went out there. It's on all the platforms, Audible and all the ones where you know, iTunes. But during the course of the pandemic, Michael and Bonnie, we continued working with them, and they figured out, you know, how can we maximize this new type of industry of audio theater. And what we were able to come up with was that audio theater targeted to businesses, business owners, that they could get their products, the making of their products these are interesting stories, and they're stories that should be told, and employees and people that work for the company and represent those brands should have access to those stories and feel inspired by that story of how the company came to be. So they have networked and shopped at this idea. It's called Business Audio Theater. And we Sherwood Players are the go-to production crew that will be doing more of these. So long story short, we have a new client, and we're going to be moving into auditions very soon for this new story. And I'm excited to talk about that in a future episode too, because this is happening very soon in the next couple weeks. So we're very excited about that, our next business audio theater production for Sherwood Players.
Sounds great.
Cool. Yeah, and then we have some feature films in the works too that are in various stages of development and pre-production, and we will be announcing opportunities for people to get involved in those too. And these are some of these are some really big films, so we're really excited. But again, we'll talk about that another time. But yeah, we're just so excited to have so many things in the pipeline right now, and yeah, this is a new time that we're in. But I like that we're just diving in head first. I mean, it feels really good to do this.
That's true.
So, anything else? Anything you want to cover, Barbara, from our social media director? Anything?
I mean, I think we covered a lot.
Yeah.
I think we covered a lot. Like, yeah, I'm like a little bit on the end.
I think we're all talked out for 1 week. But this has been.
And I think it's like, I also think like 30, 40 minutes is like a very good time. I mean, let us know in the comments like what you guys think, but I think this is a good amount of time to cover all the new things we have going on. Absolutely.
So everyone stay in touch with us, stay on YouTube, get on our Facebook private group and all of our other socials at Sherwood Players, and we will be in touch with you guys again next Tuesday. But in the meantime, you can actually watch some of the videos we have up there right now. We just uploaded 3 shorts from our vault, our Sherwood vault, 3 funny shorts that we're making fun of superheroes again and live action. It's called the Man in Red Trilogy. Check that out. And then our 3 other videos that were up last week, our director's course, best scenes from the last director's courses are all up there too. Looking forward. Yes.
Please leave a comment, subscribe, like the videos.
Thank you, guys.
Let us know what you think.
Absolutely. Let us know what you think. Thank you, Barbara. Thank you, everybody. And we'll touch base with you guys soon. This has been the Sherwood Shakeup, episode 1. Live. Signing off.